Hello, I'm Amir Khalid. I'm part of the business board of the Combined Authority of Cambridgeshire and Peterborough. And I'm here at Teraview meeting Don, and very excited, Don, to have a tour of your exciting facilities. So I'm very excited to hear about the story, especially the story of you through as a PhD student and developing this technology and taking it to market.
My background is that I did a PhD at the university in physics back in the early 1990s. And that is when the work on the technology started, on the semiconductor technology that's the basis of what we do at Teraview. And after doing a PhD, I moved on to do a postdoc with Professor Michael Pepper, who's head of the the semiconductor physics group in the Cavendish Laboratory. And that was a very interesting piece of work. And it essentially took the semiconductor technology that we're using at Teraview to the next stage. Michael co-founded the Toshiba Research Center with Toshiba Corporation in Japan, and we transferred the R&D to Toshiba Research. At that point, it was a joint collaboration between the university and Toshiba. I moved across to Toshiba as a researcher. And our focus then was using the semiconductor technology to develop next generation memory, high density DRAM, etc. And we actually stumbled upon the fact that the same technology that we were developing for that application could be used to generate and detect what's known as terahertz light. And that was the kind of eureka moment, as it were. And we've picked up that, developed it further within Toshiba. And we had quite a bit of dialogue with Toshiba in terms of how terahertz as a inspection technology, similar in some respects to X-ray, ultrasound, might be used in their business. And there were many exciting applications, but Toshiba's focus at that point was really on the semiconductor market and on aspects of medical imaging. But they suggested to us that we might want to spin the technology off and commercialize it ourselves. We thought that was an excellent idea, and that's really how Teraview was founded. So it's really been a Cambridge story from the start, from the PhD days, all the way through until when Teraview was set up. When Teraview was set up, we were fortunate to be in Cambridge, used a network of the university, very helpful government agencies, Innovate UK, but we also used local investors who actually initially funded the company. So very much a Cambridge story, as you say, from the beginning through to where we are today.
So Don, tell us more about at what point did you approach the business board?
Business board came in because basically the company spent the first 10 years focused on taking what was a fairly fundamental technology like X-ray and moving it through to a turnkey system that a customer could easily use. When we got to that point, we were able to work with customers in the semiconductor industry, automotive industry, and with pull from them, we were successful at establishing markets and products for those markets in those two industrial areas. At that point, we actually saw our sales numbers rising and the need for larger production facilities, larger production staff was required. We approached the business board to help us fund the move from our premises in Cambridge to where we currently are in the research park. So the business board contribution was pretty fundamental in terms of us moving into this facility, which has allowed us to grow the business to the level it's at today and is a good platform for growing it in the future.
Don, tell us, what are your ambitions for the next 5 years?
What we'd like to do, first of all, is take a business which is very close to profitability, indeed would turn a profit if we weren't doing R&D, and actually get to a revenue level where we are fully profitable. And that is a 12 to 18 month ambition. After that, though, as the technology grows, as we get more and more repeat business from Fortune 500 customers in automotive and semiconductor, which we're getting now, we'd really like to grow this to a $100 million per annum opportunity. We believe we can do that because of the strength of the technology, the customer base, large number of patents that we filed, but also because if you look at comparator companies who are selling X-ray and more established technologies, they're typically selling into $150, $200 million per annum markets. So our aspiration over the next 5 years is to make terahertz successful in the same way those other technologies have been successful in the past.
How can the business board help you more in growing your company?
I think there's two things. One is a company such as ours will expand in the future, and we will go through certain inflection points in production as sales expand. Any support we can get from the business board would be vital at that point as we expand in terms of both manufacturing space, but also in terms of further development teams. But the other thing the business board can do is through its network supporting SMEs. That would be vital support to us because there's a lot of knowledge the board has and the affiliates of the board have that we could bring to bear on some of our target markets, both the existing markets, but also developing some of the new markets. So the advice we get from the business board there would be welcome and vital to us growing new market opportunities.
Okay. So, as you know, we give grants, we give loans, and we have a SME growth company as part of the business board. And we'd love to work with you, and we'd love to see this grow to 100 million plus company. It's a great Cambridgeshire story, and we're so glad that we're part of it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your support, and we'd love to do that with the business board going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been spending a few hours looking at Teraview, a company that the business board has supported through a loan, and it's been an amazing exercise today to see this company grow from a R&D company into producing high technology, terahertz technology for the automotive and the electronics industry. It's grown from 1 or 2 people to 21 people and has moved into this amazing premises. It's now able to provide its technology and products to companies in the US, Japan, and elsewhere. We are very excited with our investment into this company, and we look forward to this company growing to its full ambition of 100 million turnover.